Hello everyone. Today in this video we will be discussing about string data type. So we have already discussed about numeric data types in which we have discussed specifically about int, float and complex. So now we will be moving on to string. So in string there are several functions. So we'll be discussing about few of those. Okay. We might not be covering all the functions because in Python there are lots of functions. So I'll try to mostly cover the ones which basically which will be used much in case of programming. So let's see these functions. Okay. So now we can initialize a string like this. We can give some variable name and then you can assign like this, hello world everyone, or any string that you wanted to assign. And then if you wanted to check the type of string, then you can give type the variable name. So if we see over here, it's str. And similarly, if you wanted to check what is the character at some particular index, you can do like this. And similarly, you can do this also. So in case of 2, 0, 1, 2, so index will start at 0 and 2. So we have L. That's why it is showing yellow over here. Similarly, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's why it is showing D over here because this is the 10th index. So basically, in string that we have already discussed, few data types are mutable, whereas few are immutable. So string is immutable. So we can't assign something like let's say my str of 0 equal to d. These kind of operations can't be done. Okay. So if you try to do this, we'll be getting type error. And similarly, we'll be discussing about a lot of these functions like upper. What it will do, it will make everything into uppercase. So here if we see hello world everyone, this complete string got changed into uppercase. Similarly, my string dot lower, this will get changed into lowercase. Okay, the whole thing got changed into lowercase. So basically, this will not affect the my string. My string will remain the same. But the thing is, this dot upper function will return another string which has all upper cases. Okay. Similarly, this lower will return a string which has all lower cases. And casefold will also work similar to lower, but the only difference is lower will work only in case of ASCII characters, whereas casefold can also work in case of other characters. So most probably the text we will be seeing will contain only ASCII characters. So most of the time we can go with lower only. Okay. And lower is little faster when compared to casefold. So that's the difference between lower and casefold. And coming to capitalize, what it will do is it will make a whole string lower and only the first letter capital. So let's see this. So here if you see this is the only capital letter and remaining were all were in lowercase. And similarly there is a function title. This title what it will do is it will make every word's first letter capital. Here H will be capital and W will be capital and every in everyone E will be capital. So let's see. So we can observe this. H is capital, W is capital, and E is capital. And similarly, there is a function called swap case. In swap case, what it will do? By the name itself, we can clearly say that it will just make uppercase to lowercase and lowercase to uppercase. So let's see. Yeah, it's doing the same. So here if we see, here H is capital and it is made as small and the ELLO are small. They were made capital. So like that, this swap case will swap the cases and let's print the string. So even after applying all these methods, the string remained the same because these will not be affecting the string directly as the string is immutable. Okay. So let's see the length of the string. So here it is saying it's 20. Okay. And we can also center the string. we can tell that it will minimum take 30 characters, and if we don't mention anything like dollar like this, then it will fill the space with spaces. So let's see this by executing. So here it is, this is taking, this overall length will be 30, and the initial and the final parts are padded with spaces, and this will be in the center. Okay. And similarly, these spaces were filled with spaces in this case. Instead of that, you wanted to fill with some other character, then you can give like this. So we can observe here it is filled with dollars. So these also will not affect the string. And there is a function called as count. So using this function count, you can count number of times that particular letter or particular substring got occurred within the original string. So if we see E got occurred 4 times, here once and two, three, and four. So it's four. And if we see in case of hello, it will be hello, hello, it will be two. Okay. And here if you see, you might be thinking it will give us three, but basically after matching with this, it will directly move and check from this point. That's why it will not be giving us two, so it will only be giving us one. And like if you want to count like this, then you can't use this count function. That's why I'm like giving you this example. And also along with giving the string, you can give initial and final indexes. So that it will search in that particular index and it will give you the count. Okay. So here if we see, we are giving only the starting index and telling that so starting index we are giving it 5, and my string is this one. So fifth index is like we are starting from here, this point. So if you see from this point, there is no LL anywhere. That's why it's 0 over here. And similarly, let's see, like here we are taking string 1. In case of string 1, from 0 to 5, we have only one LL. So it should be 1. Yeah, it's 1. Like that, we can give starting index and ending index also. And there is a function called ends with. So this function basically returns true or false. So if at the last it's matching, then it will give us true. If not, it will give us false. So my string, let's see, it's ending with any. So here also we are telling ends with any. So it should return true. Yeah, it's returning true. And similarly, in case of string one, what is our string one? It is ending with LO. So it should return false. And here also we can give starting and ending index. So here it is returning true because 5 is ending over here. So these two were included and it's returning true. And similarly, we can, instead of giving only one value, can pass a tuple and it will search like in any one of these. If there is any ending, then it returns true. So here if we see in string one, we have LO as the ending, like in this if we see LO is the ending, but not EN. But uh, even if it doesn't match one, like at least one, if it matches, then it will return true. Let's change this to something else, then it will return false. Okay, so like this will work. And similarly, there is a function called as find, and there is another function index. So we'll just discuss the difference in some time. So let's see what it will do. Basically, it will give us the index where LL is found. Similarly, uh, like let's say you want to see L. Actually, if we see the string one, it is hello hello. In hello hello, AL will not occur. That's why it is giving us -1. But instead of find, if we are using index, then it will give us error. So that's the basic difference between find and index. In remaining cases, it works the same. Okay. There are some similar functions like this. That's why I'm just telling one of those functions because like discussing all these functions will take a lot of time. That's why I'm just skipping some redundant functions. Okay. So find and index will work the same. The only difference is when the that is missing, it will return -1, whereas index will give us error. Okay. And similarly, you can give starting and final index also like this. And after 3 at index 8, you can find this LL. Similarly, in this range, let's see where we can find LL. So we can't find anywhere. That's why it's returning -1. So, and also in case of string, there is a function called as isIdentifier. So basically, if you don't know how to name the variables, then you can place it in some string and give it to each identifier. So this will basically tell us whether we can keep that name to some variable or not. So basically, variables should not be starting with integers. So this will return false. So let's see. Yeah, it's returning false. And here also, here if you see, it is normally starting with some letter only. So there is no problem over here. So it should return true, and it's returning true. Here, if you see, there is some space. I think in like in variables, there should not be any space. So it should return false. Yeah, it's returned false. And yeah, starting with underscore over here, and it's acceptable in Python. So let's see. Yeah, it is returning true, so it's acceptable. And in between, you can have these numbers, but at the start, you can't have. So this is also fine. So like this, you can check whether you can give these names to some uh, variable or not. And similarly, there is some function called as ljust. What it will do, it will like for hello, it will be taking minimum 10 characters, and within these 10 characters, it will try to adjust it to the left side. Okay, that's why we after hello we are having some spaces and then everyone. Similarly, these spaces you can fill it with some character like star. So let's see how it looks. So here if we see initial we say 10, right? So 5 characters were filled like this, and the remaining characters will be filled with star. And similarly, there is a function called strip. What it will do, it will just like remove all the spaces on the both sides. Okay. So similar to ljust, there is rjust also. So in rjust, what will happen is these hello, like in the place of hello, we will have spaces, and then hello will be there, and after that we will get everyone. Similarly here, the stars will be this side and hello will be this side. Okay, so it will fill it to the right side. So let's just change it and see. So if you observe, here spaces are before and then hello and then everyone. Similarly, let's change it over here also. So yeah, previously it used to be used to be this side and used to be this side. Now it got changed. And there is a function called strip. It will remove the white spaces. So after removing it, will look like this. And similarly, there is some function lstrip, which will remove left side spaces, and rstrip, which will remove the right side spaces. So basically, by just seeing these names, we can understand what it will be doing. And split, we have already discussed in case of input. Like in input video, we have discussed about split. So like my string is actually hello world everyone. So after applying split, we'll just split it on spaces. So our string will look like this, hello world everyone. And let's say we are giving some other string, and we can also split it based on some other characters also or some string. So here we are passing it comma. So it will split it on comma. So like this, it will split. And like opposite to split, there is a function called join. What it will do is like whatever string we'll give, based on that string, it will join the list that we are passing to it. So here we are saying like we are passing L. What is L? L is hello world everyone, like these strings in the list. So it will join all these three strings with the use of space. Let's see how it will look. Yeah, hello world everyone. And they were concatenated with the help of space. Similarly, you can do it with comma and whatever character you want. Okay. So now if you see these were concatenated with commas. And like if you wanted to lower them, then you have to reassign them again like this. Okay. Just by applying this will not change the actual string. So you can also use some function called replace. What it will do, it will search for this HE and it will replace it with PE. So let's see. So here if we see wherever there is HE, it is replaced with PE. This will also not affect the string directly. Okay. So if we see after replacing, if we print that, it is hello, hello only. And similarly, there is something called jet fill. Like it will just fill the string for those many characters. Here, if we see there are 11 characters in hello, hello. Remaining 9 characters will be filled with zeros at the start. And similarly, let's say we are taking some string like this, which has some value plus something. Then this plus is kept to the right, sorry, to the left, and then remaining part will be filled with zero. So let's run and see. So to the left side, and remaining were filled with zeros. And similarly, if we use minus and plus, then it will not work on, like it will not make to the left. It will only keep only the initial sign to the left, and remaining it will fill it with zeros. So like this, it will look. Okay. This is about jet fill. And also there is some function called as format underscore map. Format we have already discussed in print while discussing about print. So format map is like instead of directly passing values over here, you can directly pass tick. And uh, here if we see in this we are using x and y. So those x and y values were present in this tick. And to this format map, you can pass the dict. Like this format underscore map will work. Okay. Dot format, how it is working, we have already discussed in print. Okay. It will work in the same way. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and understood everything. So if you have any doubts or anything, you can comment down in the comment section and we'll see later. And thank you.